What's up? Toby D pound for pound. Didn't I tell y'all I was gonna be out here today? I'm gonna be out here Saturday too. Where y'all at? Y'all need to be filling these hills up and filling it up there where them tents at. Look, you see that back there? Now you getting hot. You got a place to go and stay out the sun. So you need to get out here and support your team in 2019. Come on now, Super Bowl run. Let's go.
Rise up.
Rise up. Welcome to Pound for Pound, arguably one of the best Atlanta Falcons fan base talk on YouTube. Hey, it's Toby D, and you already know what it is. It's time to talk some Atlanta Falcons football. But before I do that, you know I always got to give my shout outs to everyone that has stayed faithful to the channel, Pound for Pound with me and JR. Hey, and have subscribed, shared it, liked it, commented on it, all those beautiful things that we have requested for you guys to do. You stayed faithful to it, and we ask that you continue to do the same thing. Even if you dislike it, it's all the same for us because we just love the interaction of everybody. Man, we're going to try to, like I said, stay consistent. I think JR and I have been doing a pretty decent job in trying to stay consistent for you guys, man, and at least get videos out so you can hear our takes on what we feel about our Atlanta Falcons. And I definitely believe that we are one of the best to do it. Devonta Freeman would always say, if you don't believe you're one of the best players, then something is wrong because, hey, you believe when nobody else will. And with that being said, if you saw that clip at the beginning, yes, I was at the Falcons training camp on Thursday, like I told you guys I would be. And I was also there on Saturday, and I'm excited to just talk about it right now because it was some great things that I got to see that was confirmed from the few days prior to me going there Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday that got confirmed for me to see up close. And it was definitely exciting to see that day. Now, I'm just going to tell you guys on Thursday, it really wasn't the best experience for me, only because when I got there, and many of you that have been to camp know that the Falcons are vertically on the field. Now, y'all remember when Mike Smith was here, it was horizontal, and you really couldn't see anything. And now with Dan Quinn getting there, he took these things from Pete Carroll with making the field vertical for people to be able to have a better chance to see. They put everybody up on the hill, and at least this time they allowed people to get down close. And I got down close, and unfortunately the Falcons were on the right side of the field, and they were kind of blocking a lot of stuff where you couldn't really see as a fan what was going on. But it's all good because I still got to see some things confirmed on that Thursday that I'm going to talk about. And those include guys like Kendall Sheffield, number 20. Get used to seeing that number. You know that's Brent Grimes' old number that he's now going to be showcasing for the Atlanta Falcons. And number 28, Thomas Deku, old number, that rookie Jordan Miller, who I'm excited to talk about with him, is going to be showcasing for the Atlanta Falcons. Guys, it's that time. It is that time. It is literally a few days away where the Falcons will be playing in a Hall of Fame game against the Denver Broncos on Thursday night, starting around 8 p.m. You can't miss it because this really gives you a chance to really see what's going on with some of the guys, not including, of course, the starters, because you know they usually do not play, if at all, during the Hall of Fame game, because now we have 5 games for the first time in a long time as an Atlanta Falcon. And this is exciting, man, because now not only am I able to see these guys in training camp, but now seeing them in true game speed against another team besides themselves, it is definitely exciting to see. Now, of course, on Thursday, the Falcons were in pass only as far as the shell tops. They did not have full pass on because Dan Quinn said that he wanted to get players slowly into pass because they've done research and when injuries happen or whatnot, and they wanted to slowly walk players into the full pass. And those full pass went on Saturday because, as you all very well know, and you know the schedule for the training camp, we only had 8 sessions this season, and there's only one more left. August 4th, Military Day on Sunday, and thank God my wife said, hey, baby, go. And Lord willing, I will be there. Me and JR will be there on that day, and I'm sure they'll be in full pass celebrating the military. We couldn't do anything without them guys keeping us our freedom safe so that we can do the things we're doing like I'm doing right now. But getting back to Falcons camp, they was in them pads on Saturday. But let's talk about on Thursday some things that I saw. Now, you know some of the things that have been recapped from Vaughn McClure, one of the beat writers, D. Orlando, Ledbetter, Jason Butt from The Athletic. They were recapping a lot of things that was going on in Falcons camp. You heard a lot about 3-4 looks, more bare front looks and things of that nature that is going to be going down for the Atlanta Falcons. And what Dan Quinn said in his presser today, we are going to be a multiple defense. And we already expected this to come down. So there's no surprise in any of that. You got Bob Sutton over here because Dan Quinn wants to get a better, smoother transition from the different looks that they're going to present to guys like Drew Brees, Andrew Luck, Russell Wilson. All these guys are smart guys. So you have to be able to come at them with post-snap looks so that they are not able to really gauge on everything you are trying to do. And we definitely have seen some of that in camp. I got to go out there Thursday. I didn't get to see a lot of it because, like I told you, on the right side of the field, the players was kind of blocking a lot of the things, so you couldn't really see what was going on. But Saturday, I said I'm going on top of the hill this time, and lo and behold, they did exactly what I knew they were going to do with all the fans out there, and it was a lot of us out there, man. Hey, appreciate, man. Keep coming out and supporting your team, and if you can afford to go to Falcons game this year, at least one or two, go and get that Mercedes-Benz experience if you have not already been there. I've been there once with watching Atlanta United on the year they ended up ultimately going and winning the championship, and went that one year to also watch the Atlanta Falcons get that experience. And the food is seriously cheap. You can feed so many people, especially if you're like myself and you have a lot of family. But it was very interesting on Thursday. A lot of stuff popped out as far as Jordan Miller and Kendall Sheffield. Guys, let me tell you something. I told you that I believe in Jerome Henderson. You already know he was the passing game and still is the passing game defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons, and now holds the title of secondary coach, and he has already them guys putting in the work, and you can see early evidential signs of Jordan Miller, number 28, and Kendall Sheffield, number 20, already figuring their way throughout the defense and making plays early on in the first week of camp. And you have to be excited about that. And I'm going to tell you something. These guys are doing exactly what I told you if you watch my video for high expectations of the secondary, using that long length to really take advantage of every opportunity they have to make plays and knock balls out of players' hands. And you saw that all week from those two guys, man. And I'm definitely excited about what they can bring to the table. Dan Quinn has already said today they have been moving between nickel and outside. So all of these cornerbacks you can expect to be able to move around in different places, not just playing the nickel spot, but being able to play right and left, things that these guys already did in college. It is a beautiful sign, ladies and gentlemen, when you can see guys translating their game from college into the NFL. And Jerome Henderson is doing a great job. Him and Doug Malloy, who assists Jerome Henderson as the DB's coach, are doing a great job at getting these guys ready for the NFL. And August 1st, they are really going to get that work. And I'm really excited to see if they're able to move even faster with game speed against another offense besides their offense. And I'm going to tell you right now, another exciting thing that I got to see out there, which wasn't much on Thursday, that I was able to look at, and that is why I can jump into Saturday, because Saturday is when I got the loads of fun. And by the way, shout out to Demario, man. If you guys do not know this guy by now, he is a true representative of every Atlanta sports team, not just the Atlanta Falcons. You go on his Twitter, and I'm going to give you that right now. It is at Mario GA 12,000. Again, it's at Mario GA12,000. I'm going to put that down in the description link. You go follow him, man. He gets pictures with just about everybody. And I think I mentioned this before, and he's definitely was an exciting guy to meet. He allowed me to use his thumbnail, man, which is a true essence of a Falcons fan when you're out there already at the gates waiting on training camp to open before the sun even comes up. And that was just hilarious when he put that out. And I had to ask him, could I use it? And I did, if you saw it. And I also had it in the clip too, after my clip, when I was talking about the fact that I was there. So you guys know I was there on Thursday. But Saturday, it was loads of fun. You know why? Because the Falcons at this time now, Dan Quinn has them in full pass. And they are going at it. Offensive line, defensive line, looking good. They did a lot of red zone, which was greater because now they were not only on the left side of the field, but they were down closer so the fans could really get a good view from the bottom up. And guys, when I tell you, like I said, it was full as I had anticipated, of fans covering up the hill and up top where the tents were, what you saw on the clip when I was talking about you guys being there and getting out of the sun with no excuse. Jordan Miller again, continuing to shine and using his long limbs to deflect balls down, so far has shown great anticipation in being able to know when that receiver's getting ready to react and catch the ball and getting that ball knocked down before he can do it. Dude is causing fumbles. And I believe I said this, how these guys are going to be able to do those things even when a guy catches it right in front of them. Do not think it's a catch just yet. Because Jordan Miller, Kendall Sheffield, all of these guys are definitely, Isaiah Oliver included, using their long length to reach in and rip that ball out before that player can even get a true handle on the football. And I'm loving that right now. The running backs coach is doing a great job at getting his running backs, not just Devonta Freeman, catching the football out of the backfield. You already knew what Devonta and Ito Smith could bring to the table. But I saw Quadre Olison looking like he was a natural with catching the ball out of the backfield. I even saw, and you guys have been hearing it, but it got confirmed on Saturday with guys like Brian Hill. Brian Hill is on a mission, guys. It took him a little bit of time to really get acclimated to the NFL coming from Wyoming. I believe that's a college where he came from and came out of. If I'm wrong on that, please quote that down on the bottom and let me know exactly what college it was. I could be wrong, but it took him a little bit to translate out of that into the environment of the NFL, and he is on a mission to make this team. Now, if you didn't hear Dan Quinn talking yet, Dan Quinn said that he's got more of a committee, running back by committee behind Devonta Freeman when Devonta needs a spell. So all of these guys, Quadre Olison, if Brian Hill is on the team, and I believe he's going to really fight and make a case for him being one of the 4 running backs to be on this roster should we carry for Devonta Freeman, Ito Smith. All these guys behind Devonta will be on running back by committee. So depending on what we're doing and what we need guys for, they're going to have equal opportunities to get out there and showcase what they can do and get us some more touchdowns in the red zone, which is a huge area where we struggled at under Steve Sarkisian the last 2 seasons in the red zone from a rushing attack standpoint. So I'm definitely looking with Mike Mularkey being here that is definitely going to be on the uptake for 2019. So those guys were very exciting to see out there, man. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Jack Crawford, it didn't look like they were going to allow him to get off the field in the red zone work that they were putting in on Saturday. And this tells me, man, this guy is really going to be a huge part, more so probably than he has been even in the other years when he came here, I believe in 2017 for the Atlanta Falcons. He's going to play a huge role next to Grady Jarrett. And you already know the looks that they got going out there now, and Alan Bailey is in the house. And I'm just going to tell you right now, in the name of Jesus, I pray that curse of Ray Edwards off of him, because y'all know he has now moved from the number 66 to number 93. And you know who else had that number, and he didn't do too well. I'm just saying. So we need this guy to be able to play in the role that Dan Quinn wants, and that Michael Bennett role definitely looks like it is upfront and personal for Allen Bailey, who was already playing today, as Von McClure, I believe, stated on as the right defensive end today. So now he'll not only be playing in, and not only that, he'll be playing on the inside as well, which I knew that was going to happen when he got here. You have so many guys now with the versatility that Dan Quinn talks about to be able to make smoother transitions out of 3-4 looks into 4-3 looks because of the versatility that they bring. And Dan Quinn mentioned that in the presser today, as well as when he was talking about multiple defenses that they're going to showcase. You're getting a little bit more of what Dan Quinn wants to do as far as the defense. And you already see the confidence oozing out of these guys, man. They are not playing around. A lot of you, if you remember some of the clips from the Seattle Seahawks defense, they talked mess to Russell Wilson from the time that practice started and wasn't done till that practice was over, and probably even once it was over when they was going to the locker room talking crap. You heard Richard Sherman saying you suck and all kind of stuff. I don't know if my defense is going to go that far as to talking that stuff with Matt Ryan, but I'm going to tell you right now, Rico Allen, if you thought that Achilles heel was going to hold him down, he's already shown you from putting hits on Austin Hooper. And I know they had to tone that down because you want to protect your fellow brother from getting hurt, because you need them to get into the season. But Rico Allen has been showing out. You guys have seen him. He's getting picks, taking it to the house, and that Achilles heel is not affecting him at all. And also, it's always exciting to see number 22, isn't it? Keanu Neal back out there. Right now, these guys are playing like they never had an injury before at all. And I'm excited about that. Having those guys back out there is huge. And we talked about that big nickel. Dan Quinn mentioned that big nickel is coming with 3 safety looks, 2 safety looks. However the case, you got guys, you know, Demonte Casey plays safety, and now you can move him, like I said before in my video about the secondary. You can switch out him and Rico Allen at times to mess guys up post snap, and you're going to get a lot of that this year. A lot of looks that teams have not seen from the Atlanta Falcons. Basically doing some of the things you've been doing, but moving around and making it hard on offenses to really key in on what you're doing, especially when they watch you on film as they prepare to play you. And it definitely was exciting. No surprise with Kurt Benkert having a pretty decent camp this year. If you read the article with Greg Knapp, the QB coach, he already told you that they are expecting Kurt Benkert to take the next step. Look, no disrespect to Matt Schaub. Both guys from the same college, by the way, Virginia Cavaliers. And no disrespect to Matt Schaub, like I said, but they are hoping that Kurt Benkert can make huge strides. Greg Knapp said it's not an issue of him playing well. He just needs to know more on how to read the defenses, and this is what he struggled with last season trying to make this 53-man roster. But if he continues to connect with Olamide Zaccheaus, who also played with Kurt Benkert, and Kurt Benkert promoted to come and sign here as an undrafted free agent. I believe I heard that from Dan Quinn yesterday, to come play with the Atlanta Falcons. And so far, I saw those guys connect on Saturday in the red zone, and they connected again from what was reported by other beat writers on Sunday. So this is a great sign for Kurt Benkert to be able to possibly pull off what Dominique Davis was able to do with forcing the Atlanta Falcons when Mike Smith was here to put him on the 53-man roster as the 3rd QB behind Luke McCown. So you definitely have to get excited about Kurt Benkert. Even my son was like, man, that man can go. Because many of us know Kurt Benkert, he can scramble well, and he can run with that football when he needs to. That is one of his abilities, and he's definitely going to be great on scout units when it comes to playing guys like Andrew Luck, Russell Wilson, and other guys, Kyler Murray, who we're going to have to deal with in those zone read looks. this season. So I believe if he don't make the 53, he will stay on the practice squad. But he could very well push with Olamide Zaccheaus this year, a guy that many of us have talked about that could make strides. But of course, you already know he has to prove it, because Dan Quinn pointed this out. He has to prove it on special teams, because that's how you make the team first, especially being undrafted and getting drafted past the 4th round for any team in the league. So I'm definitely excited for them to continue doing what they're doing. One of the things I was looking at was the scoreboard and the down and distance. And our first team defense guys look very good out there with keeping the Atlanta Falcons out of the end zone and from converting those 3rd downs and the 4th downs in the red zone. I hope that continues, because if it does, and we're that strong in the red zone with forcing teams to kick field goals, oh, it's on, because now that gives our high-powered offense a chance to really go down and do their thing, as our Atlanta Falcons offense will go under Dirk Cutter. Definitely, I'm ready to talk about Dirk Cutter soon, and I will be talking about Devonta Freeman. So look for those videos to come out real soon. But man, it is an exciting time, and some of the things I've seen. Now, I told y'all I would keep my eye on Isaiah Oliver, and as I mentioned, you guys saw on Twitter, as reported, he did cause a fumble, but he hasn't really right now stood out as far as I'm looking for just yet. But I got to see him pretty up close, because he was down there and took a lot of shots of him while he was there. Because you know you can't really shoot videos, which some people do anyway. But you know, I try to do the right thing and just take snapshots until they tell us we can do videos, like they did on Thursday at the end. Didn't really matter. They told us we could shoot videos or whatever at the end. Of course, I didn't do that. But there's a lot of great things that is going to go down with this team if they continue on the road that they're going on. Devonta Freeman looks wonderful. And I wasn't out there today when he was working on his footwork as a receiver. But guys, let me tell you something. We already know Devonta Freeman is serious when it comes to receiving the football. And now he's adding footwork in there like a wide receiver, getting tips from Julio Jones and Mohamed Sanu and Calvin Ridley on how to really use his feet. Oh, it's going to be crazy when you're lining him up out wide against a mismatch out there. I can't wait to see that. And Austin Hooper, you already know. Him and Matt Ryan, they got that relationship together. They go and work out together every year. And that has not changed, because he confirmed they did do it again. And you're seeing the evidence on the field. And one of the things that stood out to me was the simple fact that he was working out with the receivers, with Mohamed Sanu, Calvin Ridley, and Julio Jones, which I don't see all the time in the times I've been out there. And this tells you right here that this guy is going to be heavily involved in this offense and could have even better numbers than he ever had. Now, if you think this passing attack is not going to change under Dirk Cutter, then you are sorely wrong. Because Dirk Cutter, the one thing I love about him, just briefly, he calls passing attacks that looks like you're carving up a defense. And if you watch games in 2012, you definitely saw that. And I see no different in guys making plays and getting a lot of yards, and Hooper having a great year under Dirk Cutter, and the running backs as well. So you see all of this manifesting out there, all the excitement going on. The energy is definitely there for the Atlanta Falcons. Now we just have to keep that energy going and see where it leads us to. Hopefully a Super Bowl appearance where this time we can win. Now, I'm not going to say about running the ball and all of that stuff. It's tempting, but I'm going to leave that alone, because I believe the Falcons and Dan Quinn are going to do the right thing this season when it's called for. You guys know what the deal is. It ain't much I have to tell you that you haven't already heard or seen. Now, if there was some things that I said that you didn't really think about, hey, I'm glad to be able to offer that up. But like I told you, I was going to be out there. And I definitely went out and saw what my Atlanta Falcons can do. And I can't wait to get out there on August 4th. Now, I'm going to leave it up to you. You tell me if you was at camp, what you saw there and what you liked. If you wasn't there from what's being reported. Comment all of that down there, man. Let's get a conversation going and really talk about these Atlanta Falcons going into the season and continue to build the hype that is already laid out there for us. Hey, once again, it's pound for pound. I'm Toby D. Peace. I'm out.